Hello everybody, welcome back to the dig site. Today we are back with yet another Jurassic Park Abandoned Mysteries video. Yay, and you can see me, yay! It's been so long since I've used my face cam. Well, not really. The reason why you can see me is before I want to make a little announcement. Last episode in my Reviewing Dinosaurs episode, the Brachiosaurus one, remember that? Very good video, go watch it. I mentioned that my new Jurassic Park series would be released, like its first video would be released sometime this week, and I lied. There has been a little bit of a delay because of the fact that I'm working on two big projects right now, and I'm currently focusing on the other project because of the fact that that one is supposed to be released when I hit 200 subscribers, which is crazy, by the way. We're almost there. We've got like 4 subscribers left to hit 200. Thank you all, by the way. But yeah, hopefully I can get these. Oh my god, I'm already messing up the intro. Hopefully I can get this new Jurassic Park series out before 2023 ends, because this is a very, very long video. It's going to be probably 30 minutes of information, and it's just very good overall. So, with all that out of the way now though, enjoy the video. In today's Jurassic Park Abandoned Mysteries video, we will be talking about why there are two separate groups of Velociraptors on Isla Sorna. Now, before I start explaining why two tribes patrol different halves of the island, let's talk a little bit about the different raptors themselves. The island itself is split into two sections, the northern half and the southern half. The northern half is controlled by the raptors from Jurassic Park 3, whereas the southern half is controlled by the Velociraptors from The Lost World. The Velociraptors from Jurassic Park 3 have very distinct features and designs. The females sported a white coloration with specks of black, whereas the males were gray and had some bits of blue. One of the most notable features that appears on the males are the quills that are located on the back of their heads and neck, as well as having a light blue stripe that runs down the side of the animal's body from head to tail. Not only their pattern design, but also physically they look different, with the male raptors having a more defined crest with a little bit of red added to it. Now we talk about the Velociraptors from the southern end of the island. These raptors seem to be much more vicious than the other raptor groups, since they have a reputation for being extremely aggressive to their own members. Now yes, that could just be a way to keep the other raptors in check, but there are probably other reasons for this behavior. Something interesting to note is that all the southern raptors are all male. The design of these raptors is very different from the northern tribe. They have a very orange tint to their skin, as well as black tiger-like stripes running all along their body. So now that we have talked a little bit about both raptor groups, let's start figuring out why there are two different tribes. As everyone should know, Isla Sorna is very mysterious, and not much is known about the island. However, I have 3 theories that could explain the reasons why there are two Velociraptor groups and why they look so different. The first theory, and probably the weakest, is that both of these raptor groups actually were one tribe at the beginning. Let me explain. In the beginning, there was a large pack of Velociraptors created by Site B scientists. This huge raptor pack would look like the Lost World designs. After being created, they would be transported to an enclosure situated around the middle of the island. However, once Isla Sorna fell, and with no one to control this massive raptor pack, they would begin to attack each other since they were too overcrowded. Eventually, two tribes would be created and both would go on their separate ways, with the one group taking all the females, living on the north side of the island. Eventually, the tribe that would go to the north side of the island would slowly create new designs and features on their bodies, differentiating themselves from the opposite group. Now, although this would be a cool concept, I don't think it would work. I say this because it would take the raptors from Jurassic Park 3 years to transform their bodies into what we saw in the movie. And we also don't have any evidence that shows us that these Velociraptors can do that. However, there is another theory that talks about the Jurassic Park 3 raptors slowly evolving, due to the quills on the back of their heads showing signs of potential proto-feathers growing. But again, I would have to disagree with that since it takes many years to evolve traits like those. Another thing to add is that it would make no sense for all the females to go with only one group of Velociraptors. The only way that would make sense is if the Jurassic Park 3 raptors killed all of the Lost World raptors. The second theory is that both raptor tribes were created in order to study the effects of different social behavior. If you don't get what I mean, let me explain. When Isla Sorna was producing raptors, the scientists decided to conduct an experiment. What would happen if they created two different raptor groups and separated one group to have only males, whereas the other group would have both males and females? This way, the scientists could study the social behavior between both groups and see how they would react under different circumstances. When conducting this experiment, they decided to place one group in a holding pen on the northern side and one on the southern. At the end of their experiment, they would conclude that the southern raptor tribe, also known as the male tribe, would be fairly aggressive and territorial against their fellow packmates, whereas the northern group, that group that contains both females and males, would be fairly calm, with the odd fight occurring, but much more stable than the southern raptors. Once the island was abandoned and both raptor packs got free, they stayed on their respective sides of the island, never crossing one another. This could make sense, however I have an issue with it. It makes sense why scientists from Site B would want to conduct such an experiment since these animals are from the past, and we know very little about them. And it would be in InGen's best interest to know as much information about these animals as possible. It also makes sense why they would create both females and males, since the Velociraptors on Isla Nublar were just all females. This way, the scientists can study the effects of how the males act toward each other and the females. However, here's where I have an issue. I understand why you would do an experiment like this, but why make two different Velociraptor designs? And that is where the last theory comes in. This, in my opinion, is the most probable theory on this list. On Isla Sorna, many dinosaurs were authorized to be created. Luckily, we have a list of dinosaurs that were supposed to be on the island. One of these species of dinosaurs was the Velociraptors. Now it says 18 raptors, and this is probably all of the Velociraptors from the Lost World. Now you may be wondering, what about the other raptors from Jurassic Park 3? Well, I have an answer for that. Isla Sorna is also known for creating unauthorized animals and keeping them on the island. A prime example of this is the Spinosaurus, since its name is nowhere to be found on any of these papers. There's only one scientist known for making unauthorized dinosaurs, that is, none other than Dr. Henry Wu. He was responsible for the creation of the Spinosaurus, so what is to say he didn't make the northern Velociraptors? You may also be wondering why it is so important that there are two different looking raptors. Well, because the raptors on the southern side, the tiger-striped raptors, and the Velociraptors on Isla Nublar in Jurassic Park have the same exact look and features, apart from the obvious color difference and the fact that the raptors on Isla Nublar were supposed to be all female and the tiger-striped raptors were all male. This gave InGen both male and female raptors. So it makes you wonder why a different set of raptors with a whole new design would be made, since John Hammond himself did not want to change anything about the animal's appearance and the fact that they already had now both male and female raptors. Well, this is where the theory comes in. I theorize that after the creation of the first batch of tiger-striped raptors, Henry Wu would go on to create in secret a whole new special group of Velociraptors. He would accomplish this task by changing certain genomes in the sequence, and who knows, maybe he even spliced some new DNA into the dinosaur. But anyway, he would change the genome sequence, and after some time, a new Velociraptor was made, with whole new attributes, designs, and behavior. Does this sound familiar? Well, this would be one of the first times Henry Wu experimented with changing the genetic code of dinosaurs, and again, potentially even splicing new DNA into it. After the events of the abandonment of Isla Sorna, these new raptors would break out of their pens and patrol the northern side of the island, whereas the other normal raptors would break out of their holding pens, which were situated on the southern side. This would, in my opinion, make the most sense. This would show Henry Wu's interest in modifying the DNA sequences for the first time. It also explains why there are two raptor tribes and why they look so much different from each other. Henry Wu created unauthorized animals without anyone else knowing, as well as making them look different on purpose. However, we won't really know why there are two raptor tribes because Isla Sorna is much more mysterious than Isla Nublar, and that all we know is that some secret experimenting was being done on Site B. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my reviewing dinosaur or Jurassic Park Abandoned Mysteries videos. Again, hopefully I can get that Jurassic Park series up before 2023 ends, so stay tuned for that. We are so close to 200 subscribers, and hopefully I get my 200 subscriber special done before we hit it. I hope to see you in the next video, and have an amazing rest of your day.